For 60 years, the world watched Hayley Mills shine as Disney's golden girl, her radiant smile lighting up screens and hearts everywhere. But behind the scenes of one of Hollywood's most beloved movies, The Parent Trap, a battle of wills and an unexpected friendship unfolded between young Hayley and the legendary Maureen O'Hara. Now, at 79, Mills finally breaks her silence, offering a glimpse into a secret world of mentorship, challenge, and truth that has fascinated fans for decades. What really happened between the shy British starlet and the fiery Irish icon? The answer is more stunning than anyone imagined. But to understand the moment that changed Hayley's life, we have to start at the very beginning. Before Hollywood, before Disney, and long before whispers of on-set chemistry and tension, there was simply Hayley Catherine Rose Vivian Mills, a child born into theatrical royalty. Her father, Sir John Mills, ruled the British film stage with a quiet authority. His roles in classics like Great Expectations and Ryan's Daughter earning him a place in cinematic legend. Her mother, Mary Hayley Bell, was equally formidable, spinning tales as a successful playwright and novelist. For Hayley, the line between art and life vanished before she could ever remember drawing it. The dinner table buzzed with talk of plays, rehearsals, tours, and opening night nerves. What began as bedtime stories told by her mother transformed into a living masterclass in storytelling, discipline, and performance elements that would shape her destiny. From her earliest years, Hayley absorbed not just the craft of acting, but the deeper lessons of resilience and grace. She saw triumph and disappointment, the price of fame, and the value of creativity. The stage, with all its dazzling lights and subtle terrors, was her backyard. She learned its language the way most children learn to ride a bicycle, slipping seamlessly into the world of adults and imagination. But this charmed upbringing was only a prelude to the whirlwind that was to come, a whirlwind ignited by a single phone call from Walt Disney himself. Yet, as remarkable as these beginnings were, nobody could have guessed how quickly the innocence of childhood would be put to the test by the glare of Hollywood spotlights and, most intensely, by one extraordinary woman. But Hayley's dreams were just about to collide with old Hollywood power in ways nobody expected. Hayley's cinematic debut exploded with Tiger Bay, a film that didn't just showcase her talent, it announced her arrival. Stealing scenes from actors twice her age, she caught the attention of Walt Disney, who saw in her a rare blend of spark and sincerity. Under his watchful eye, Hayley stepped into the world of Disney as Pollyanna, the orphan whose sunbeam optimism charmed critics and audiences alike. She wasn't just acting, she was creating hope itself on screen, earning the Academy Juvenile Award and instantly becoming a household name. The cameras didn't stop rolling. Disney saw in Hayley not just another child star, but the embodiment of a certain kind of magic innocence mingled with wit, radiant optimism lined with authentic vulnerability. In The Parent Trap, that talent hit new heights. Here, Hayley juggled twin roles so convincingly that a generation of moviegoers forgot she was only one extraordinary teenager. Technology, comedy, and drama wove together seamlessly, with Hayley at the center, radiating energy, timing, and heart. Publicly, she was everything Disney wanted, a beacon of wholesomeness, a role model. But as every seasoned actor knows, there's more to a performance than what appears on screen. Behind the curtain, The Parent Trap set was alive with tension and excitement. And sharing that set sometimes uneasily was a woman who could outstare any director, outthink any producer, and, as Hayley soon learned, outchallenge even the brightest new star. Beneath those glittering smiles, something else was brewing, a silent, electrifying collision between two very different legends. If Hayley Mills was the face of innocence, Maureen O'Hara embodied storm and flame. Already a titan in Hollywood, O'Hara was famed for her blazing red hair, steely confidence, and fierceness on set. Her performances in The Quiet Man and How Green Was My Valley made her a household name, but it was her reputation behind the scenes that really preceded her. Word on the lot was that O'Hara was as tough as any man in the industry, uncompromising, bold, and somehow always the smartest person in the room. For a shy teenager thrust into this world, encountering Maureen O'Hara was like meeting a living legend. The first day they met, Mills later confessed, she could barely look O'Hara in the eye. She was strong, direct, and utterly professional. But beneath that formidable exterior was a woman with great warmth and a deep sense of compassion. Still, O'Hara's standards were exacting. She expected discipline from everyone, no matter how young. There was no room for half measures on her set. It was intimidating, almost terrifying. But that sense of awe was about to transform, as Hayley realized she stood not just before a taskmaster, but a mentor, the likes of which she would never encounter again. The initial shock gave way to something deeper, help at the right moment, wisdom in quiet conversation, and the start of a connection that would last a lifetime. As the cameras rolled, a different kind of learning unfolded behind the scenes. Maureen O'Hara, for all her strength, recognized a familiar vulnerability in young Hayley, one she herself had once battled when breaking into a male-dominated industry. O'Hara became an unlikely protector and guide, slipping nuggets of advice between takes. "You have to know who you are, Hayley, before the world tells you who to be." These words, simple but profound, would echo through every stage of Mills's life. O'Hara shared secrets about staying grounded amidst the chaos, refusing to let fame dictate her worth or personality. She wasn't acting just for the cameras, Mills said. She was living every moment, teaching all of us what it really meant to own your craft. O'Hara's mentorship didn't end with talk. She lightened tense moments with stories of her wildest days in Ireland, the mischief of working with icons like John Wayne, the pranks, the risks, and, surprisingly, the laughter. Nobody could make the crew relax quite like her. With every story, every laugh, she instilled strength, reminding the young star that kindness was never weakness, and that courage came in many forms. Hayley didn't realize it then, but those lessons would become her compass when the pressures of stardom turned heavier and when public attention grew more skeptical and harsh. As the 1,960 seconds faded, Hayley Mills confronted a problem as old as Hollywood: how to outgrow the label of child star without breaking the world's heart or her own. She longed for more than optimism and light. After Disney, she dove into adult roles, seeking complexity and realism. Her career began to shift with films like The Family Way, a move that scandalized some and delighted her most ardent admirers. It was on the set of this film that she met director Roy Bolting, 20 years her senior. Their romance, her first experience of adult love, ignited a storm in the tabloids. Mills, just 20, and Bolting, over 50, became the talk of the town. Even after they married, whispers followed them everywhere. And for a while, the Disney image Mills had worn so easily felt like a prison. In private, Hayley struggled. The world expected one thing, her heart demanded another. And each step into adulthood pulled her further from the innocence she once wore so comfortably. During these storms of gossip and self-doubt, O'Hara's lessons from years ago resurfaced. Don't let critics define you. Be your own measure of success. In the darkest moments of marital strain, criticism, and public scrutiny, Hayley held tight to the wisdom, the resilience that only a mentor like Maureen could provide. But life, like fame, is unpredictable. Hayley's marriage to Bolting ended, and she faced a crossroads few have survived in Hollywood. The question now, how to rebuild when everything you know has changed. It was then that Hayley found unexpected hope not just in career resurgence, but in new love, friendship, and, above all, family. With time, the urgency of youth gave way to a richer, deeper chapter. Mills's career never faded. She continued to enchant on stage, on screen, and in television dramas. But more importantly, she found peace. Her son, Crispian, born during the whirlwind Bolting years, became a musical sensation in his own right. His band Kula Shaker pushing boundaries and refusing to play by anyone else's rules, much like his mother and grandfather before him. Hayley's later relationships survived the harrowing scrutiny that often comes with fame. With actor Lee Lawson, she found brief joy and another son, Jason. Later still, she built a quiet, enduring companionship with actor and writer Fiercest. Free from gossip columns and public expectation, she could finally be herself, loving and living out of the spotlight, her career unleashing new roles, advocacy for child stars, and, perhaps most meaningful of all, the Disney Legends Award she received in 2000. It was a nod to the impact she'd made, not just through films, but through resilience, transformation, and never losing herself. Even now, the spotlight can still burn. But in private, with her partner and her sons, Mills reflects not on trophies or reviews, but on what truly lasts: love, respect, and the courage to create anew at any age. Yet, for decades, one mystery remained: what really happened on that fateful set, and how did Maureen O'Hara shape it all? Finally, at 79, Hayley Mills let down her guard. After years of dodging rumors and letting fan speculation run wild, she chose to speak about the one person who left the deepest mark on her life: Maureen O'Hara. Maureen was a force of nature, Mills confessed, her voice tinged with both awe and nostalgia. She was strong, direct, utterly professional. But beneath it all, there was such warmth, a real compassion. At 14, I found her intimidating, sure. She had this presence, this voice, this way of making everyone step up. But what most people never saw was the immense kindness. She'd encourage me, share advice, even just put a hand on my shoulder, reminding me, "You've got this, darling." Their friendship grew quietly, no gossip, no Hollywood drama, just respect. O'Hara didn't tolerate laziness or excuses, but she could light up the set with laughter and irresistible stories. She warned against losing oneself in the industry, teaching Hayley to fight for fairness and integrity. Every challenge became a lesson, every shared glance, a reminder of what it meant to be not just an actress or a celebrity, but a real, thinking, feeling person. Looking back, Mills is grateful. I wish I'd told her what she meant to me when I had the chance. She shaped the way I see acting, but more than that, the way I choose to live with honesty, courage, and that spark of Irish fire. O'Hara's example outlasted Disney, outlasted the headlines, outlasted even the rapid churn of fame. When O'Hara passed in 2015, it felt like the end of a Hollywood era. "We lost something irreplaceable," Mills admits softly. But the wisdom, the laughter, the courage, they remain, woven into every performance, every new day. It took decades for Hayley to open up, but when she finally did, she gave fans something they never expected. Not a scandal, not a secret, but a story of mentorship, strength, and enduring love. As she closes that chapter, she leaves us with one final revelation: the greatest gift Maureen O'Hara gave was not just the truth about Hollywood, but the truth about life itself. The story of Hayley Mills and Maureen O'Hara isn't just about fame, or even about movies. It's a lesson in how we grow, learn, and survive in the face of expectation. Their bond, built on respect, humor, and brutal honesty, reminds us that behind every legend is a real person, trying, failing, and eventually succeeding, thanks to the right mentor at the right time. So next time you revisit The Parent Trap, or wonder what happened on those golden sets, think about the truths that go untold, the friendships that change lives, and the power of honesty in a world built on illusions. And ask yourself, whose story are you living and who's quietly teaching you, just off camera, how to become your most authentic self? If you found this story as breathtaking as we did, share your memories in the comments, and never stop looking for the mentors who can help you write your own extraordinary story.